Episode 3814, The Score Does Not Matter.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for an incredible week? Oh, come on. The weekend, if it's going to be anything like that, oh my goodness, it was so cool. Maybe it's just kind of a false fall. Maybe not. I don't know. But regardless, it's Mindset Monday and it's time to get your head in the game because the score does not matter. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. You know, in a world obsessed with metrics, the likes, the followers, the promotions, or maybe even it's the dollar signs, it's easy to get trapped measuring your worth by numbers you don't control. It's like, you put out that post on Facebook or Instagram, you put that reel and you're like, surely everybody is going to love what I have to talk about today in regards to the US Open. Or man, I'm taking a picture of the food that I created, right? And you're like, I only got 2 likes. I don't think anybody likes me. We look at our numbers and we think our stats is what really says, you got something. But here's the truth that no one tells you loud enough. The score does not matter. The win does. And what does that really mean? Well, what's the difference? Well, the score, right? You got the score. Think of it as if you're playing a game because you know what? I watched so many games this weekend. Confession time. I was all over the place between the US Open, between the NFL, between college. I watched a lot of ball, but I also had fun with my grandbabies and I had fun with family. The weather was grand, except it did rain on Saturday, which, not always great. So how was your weekend, right? What score would you give your weekend? Funny. But seriously, the score is a snapshot of progress, often shallow and fleeting. The social proof, right? The paycheck, the applause, the statue, right? Oh, I got an Emmy. For what? There's so many awards out there and some awards you have to pay for. Is it really an award? Question mark. Scratch your head. I don't know. But that's the score, right? Maybe it's even a promotion for you at your job. What about the win? The win is the deep-rooted success that comes from showing up, breaking your limits, and moving forward even when the scoreboard reads 0. It's your transformation lived out, not just counted. Think about that. At some point, you face a choice. Will you let setbacks and scores define you, or will you respond deliberately to build the life you crave? Meaning, your setbacks and scores, it's like, oh man, I feel like I'm going 1 step forward and 10 steps back, and then 1 step forward and 10 steps back. And what is it going to be? And you're sitting here, man, I failed like 20 times. Why would I try this again? Or when you try it again. Maybe you are making a career change. Maybe you are thinking of writing a book. Maybe you are sitting there going, I'm going to get out of work because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Whatever it is for you. Maybe you're going to open up a nonprofit. But you have a choice. And you have to face that choice and say, how am I going to let my worth be defined? Think about it. Because if you don't steer that ship, habit takes over, and your habits are often the invisible blockers holding you back from everything you want. My friend, you got to forget the numbers and do what it takes to win. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Do what it takes to win. And yeah, that kiss kind of sounds a little bit kind of quirky, doesn't it? It does because you got to do it. You got to put in the reps. And that means at times, maybe you get the big goose egg over and over and over again, but eventually you make it to the final. Eventually you make it to the Super Bowl. Eventually you get to where you want to be. Now, I don't know if you watched the US Open. I did. Congratulations to Sabalenka for winning the women's. Congratulations to Alcaraz for winning the men's. That's fabulous. I don't know who you were rooting for, and maybe you could care less. But I will tell you this, they won because they put in the reps. They didn't just, obviously, they had to get the right score, right? We understand that. But it wasn't about the score that particular day. It was everything that they did over their entire time from when they first stepped on the tennis court to when they played on Saturday or Sunday. And did you watch the NFL game on Sunday night? Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills? Let me tell you, I was watching the Miss America pageant. By the way, congratulations to Miss New York as the new Miss America 2026. That's fabulous. Miss Texas took first runner up. I think Miss Alabama was fourth place. Oh my goodness. I think Miss Florida was third runner up. Hold on. I'm thinking of the other one. Oh my goodness. It's the middle one. I'll think about it. Anyway, congratulations to all of the top 5 and specifically to Miss New York for winning. But you see, there's just a lot happening, right? And you're probably like, but I had like soccer and we had this and we had that and schools in season. And we had like, this was our second or third game for the high school ball. I get all of it, right? It's kind of crazy. And in life, we look at our score, our failures, our successes to judge whether or not, are we doing well? Well, are you? So let's go back to the NFL game on Sunday night. Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. As a Kansas City Chief fan, I don't like either of those teams, quite frankly. Why? Because eventually we have to play them and that becomes a problem. So I didn't really know who to root for. And I was watching Miss America and kind of came in late to the Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills, probably about mid-third quarter. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness. I said, the Baltimore Ravens are going to win. I said, I don't know if I like that. But then I'm like, well, Kansas City Chiefs already had their first loss. And by the way, I'm not just a Chiefs fan, just to be clear, but I have called Kansas City my home for a very long time, off and on. As you know, I'm from Hawaii, but I've lived in Kansas City. And so I still root for the Chiefs. I have since I was a little girl. I grew up hearing my dad root for them. So if my dad's going to root for them, I'm going to root for them. Anyway, long story short, it doesn't matter if it's Patrick Mahomes playing Travis Kelce and him getting together with Taylor Swift, all of the above, right? Do what it takes to win. Maybe the NFL took advantage of that, right? Man, brought some eyes onto the football, stage when you're talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in a different manner, right? Now let's go back. Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills. I thought for sure the Ravens are going to pull it out, but yet 16 points were put on the board in 4 minutes-ish. I know, give or take a few seconds. Crazy. Yeah, I know. But it happened. And if you weren't one who watched the game and someone just told you who won, it wouldn't matter. But if you watched the game only to see that the Ravens were winning until these 16 points were made in 4 minutes, you would be amazed at the final score. Do you know what the score was? Do you even know who won? It was 40-41. The Buffalo Bills won. It was crazy. Just go watch the highlight. All you need to do is watch the last, probably, 4.5 or so minutes, but definitely the last 2 minutes of the game. It was crazy what happened. And I had to be quiet because the babies were sleeping. And I was like, if I yell, I'm waking everybody up. Didn't want to do that. But the Buffalo Bills won. Even though the Ravens were so far ahead. It's very interesting how we sit here and we look, oh my gosh, I've got it. The score shows we're ahead. We're going to win. And 4 minutes later, we're now behind. We got a chance to pull something out over the other team. Seriously? 40-41. Do whatever it takes to win. Are you willing to do that? Do what it takes. Put in the reps. Say, you know what? Yeah, I need to get out there and practice more. I need to, practice my piano or my violin. Maybe you're starting to take up a new hobby. My husband started taking up playing the guitar. I love that. And quite frankly, he's like, I need more time on the guitar. I'm like, find more time. I think it's wonderful that you want to play guitar. And he's learning, he's teaching himself, going, he'll do lessons and then he does lessons on his own and both. So he's like paying for a teacher and paying for lessons on his own. And he's like, well, I don't know what this looks like, but I'm trying. And he doesn't want to go and travel and become this incredible guitarist. That's not his love, but it's kind of this new hobby that he enjoys. And just because something's a hobby doesn't mean you don't want to win at it. You want to do well, right? So what are some ways that you can stop focusing on the score and start winning every single day? Number 1, shift your mindset. You got to prioritize progress over perfection. And if nothing else, if you don't hear anything else today, winning starts in the mind. You got to believe in yourself. When you're obsessed with the score, quote unquote, okay, those numbers, what you're doing, you're chasing perfection or external validation. You're like, I need to know this. I need all those trophies. Yeah, those trophies might be nice, but does it really get you to where you want to be? Because what if really where you're supposed to be, where God wants you, means that you don't have all those trophies? Maybe you're the first runner up, like Miss Texas, and not the winner, like Miss New York. Instead, pivot to valuing consistent progress, even if it looks messy or feels slow. So what does this look like? Well, imagine a woman who's an entrepreneur and she's launching her first online coaching program, okay? The number of signups or the lack thereof on launch day might sting a little bit, like, I only got 2 people. I mean, when we open up Kairos, when we have our new website up and running and we open up AIM and then we start to have our PJ parties, I might be that woman that's like, we're changing some things and like one person showed up. I'm not sure about that. But if you measure success only by immediate sales, right? This woman entrepreneur, well, she's dead in the water. Instead, she celebrates every lesson learned, every connection made, every imperfect new step. She says, you know what? I'm going to invest in refining my offer. I want to keep creating and follow up with prospects. Over time, the relentless progress builds what? A business, even if the quote unquote score doesn't reflect it at first. In other words, the numbers may not match the outcome, and that's okay. This mindset frees you to do the work without being shackled to instant results. It's the discomfort of a small daily win that stacks up into something unstoppable. And that unstoppable person is you, my friend. Shift your mindset. Prioritize progress over perfection. Number 2, build grit. Do the hard work nobody sees. What are you doing when the curtains are all closed? When no one's peeking in? When you don't have your camera on? Nobody ever wins by skipping the grind. If you want your dream, if you want to reach your goals, you need to commit to the unseen, the unspectacular hard work that builds muscle, skill, and resilience, that determination that's real deep-seated and rooted within you. Think about a woman training for a marathon. Oh, I remember back in the day when I could pound the pavement. I can't do it anymore. My knees and hips just will not take it. But I enjoyed running. I really did. So imagine a woman training for a marathon, but she's also juggling a full-time job in parenting. Yep, I remember those days. I don't have necessarily full-time parenting now, but I do have a full-time job. So she could look at her slow pace or missed runs as a score, right? Quote unquote score failure. But true winning is in the decision to run the next mile, no matter what fatigue or doubt tells her. It's in the quiet mornings she sacrifices, the sore muscles she pushes through, and the commitment to her why, even when no one's watching. What happens behind the curtain? Grit means you stop waiting for everything to be perfect and start doing the hard stuff anyway. That's what creates breakthroughs. And that's what we need. Build grit. Do the hard work nobody sees. And finally, number 3, let go of comparison. This is one we all get trapped in. You got to own your own unique journey, your own story. You get to write it. I pray with God next to you, but you get to do it. And when you're hooked on that scoreboard, you're playing someone else's game. I will say this over and over and over again when I watch a tennis match. Play your own game. I was watching Anisimova and Sabalenka play in the women's final on Saturday, this past Saturday for the U.S. Open. And Anisimova kind of came out a little bit, oh, she's good. got the first set, if my memory holds correct, but just could not pull out the next two that she needed the win. And she was close. It was awesome. But what happened was she started to play Sabalenka's game. And Sabalenka, well, if you're going to play her game, what do you think she's going to do? She's going to win. The points will, go in favor to her. And then on top of that, she will actually come out on top. Understand this. No one says, well, what was the score? Did Anisimova even win a set? Yeah, she did. It wasn't like it was 6-love like it was when she played Swiatek in Wimbledon championships was that June, July? Oh my goodness, my times just go together. I think it was July. Regardless, right? It doesn't matter. You're like Christiana, it doesn't matter. But it does matter because when you're sitting here and you're playing someone else's game, you can't play your own. Social media intensifies this trap, teasing you with everyone else's highlight reels. Who cares who went where on their vacation? Great. Celebrate them in your mind if it happens that you see it and it comes across in your feed. But otherwise, just block it. You don't need to see that stuff if it really bothers you. Right? Winning means owning that you are on your own path, your own terrain. You're doing it at your own speed with your own wins and what that looks like for you. So maybe you're out there in the corporate world saying, you know what? I'm going to climb this corporate ladder. But unfortunately, the peers, they're getting promoted faster. They're getting praised louder. And man, the money's coming in. And you're like, what about me? What about me? Now, this woman can waste her energy feeling behind or not good enough. Or she has that option to say, you know what? I can double down and really look at my distinct strengths, build relationships, network, and look at what really matters and stretch in ways that align with her values, right? And even if it looks slower or less flashy, by releasing comparison, you reclaim your focus and energy for what actually moves you towards your dream. The idea is to get closer. Now, your dream may change a little bit, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Or there are some dreams that die. Why? Because, they just fade out. Maybe it's because of age. We're not getting any younger. I know I'm not. Maybe it's because it's the time and season in your life. It's not the right time. It's not the right season. The bottom line is do whatever it takes to win, not to score. You already know the Buffalo Bills won, but you didn't know how close it was unless if I told you the score. The score doesn't matter, but the win does. Life's measurement isn't in numbers. It's in your courage to act despite uncertainty, your grit when no one's applauding, what you're doing behind the curtain, and your commitment to your unique vision, what God has placed on you. The scoreboard, you can think of it as like a side effect. The win is the prize. I love this verse, 1 Corinthians 9, verse 24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. It doesn't say run to make sure you score highest on the scoreboard every single time. It says run in such a way as to get the prize. It's talking about your intentional effort and focus on what a true win is, not just running aimlessly, but pursuing your goal with purpose. Are you pursuing your goal with purpose? Are you pursuing your dream? Do whatever it takes to win. Stop feeding your doubt with scoreboard noise. Start feeding your momentum with actions that matter, right? Take aim. Action ignites motivation. Now is the time to play to win, not to impress, not to tally the points, but to win on your own terms so you can create your now. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.